In the previous first part of the video and second part of the video, I was continuing this topic from the colonial to the federal, the context of the American Enlightenment. Okay, now there are 3 subheadings of this answer. So every subheadings I have uploaded different videos. Okay, now I'm going to the last part of this answer, that is the last subheading of this answer, that is slavery. Okay, this will be the end of the answer. Slavery and Enlightenment and the American during the 18th century. Now slavery is another prominent element of Enlightenment. As we have seen earlier, I have already discussed in the first part of the video that there were division between north people and the southern people. Okay, they were doing export import on agricultural products and crops and everything. They were doing business and the paper currency came up. I have already discussed in the first part. Okay, if you didn't notice the first part and the second part, you won't, there is no use of hearing this video also, because this 3 video is a combination of one answer, 20 marks answer. So you have to write all the 3 subheadings for 20 marks answer. Okay, now let me discuss about this concept of slavery. As we have seen earlier, the farmers were needed, but because of some diseases, the slaves were dying. Okay, another reason, it was not very easy to procure slaves. So the plantation owner of the South joined hands with the white population of Caribbean islands. America is a very big nation, covering a very big area. Okay, so there were Latin American people, there were Caribbean islands. The white people of Caribbean island, they were helping this people, this plantation owner, this landowner, who were bringing slaves from Africa for doing their work. They were helping them, and in order to encourage slave trade, I told you, slaves were actually a black Negro human being, but they were also being traded. They were being used as a product in the open market. Okay, something around 1865, it was discovered that the flat coastal lowland of South Carolina had a great potential of growing rice. The slaves were being taken to this plantation and they were asked to work on the plantation. So in a large group, large gang of Negro people were brought up, were traded and were brought up here to do the work. But unfortunately, the climate, however, did not favor the black Africans. Just now I said they were all the African people who were treated as slaves, and it remitted an increased death rate of slave population. Now the small white population and the owner of these farms, they were affected. In Hindi we say कि काम तो कड़वाना है, पर काम करने वाले बंदे अगर मर रहे तो काम किससे कड़वाए? So that is the problem, that they were unable to do the work, and it is very normal. The owner will not themselves go and work in the scorching heat in the field. So automatically they need more slaves to replace the old one. So because they thought this could be replaced by others, but of the slaves, they thought of buying women slave. Now what will be the benefit of buying women slaves, female slaves instead of male? Because women will give birth to another slave, and the women were asked to work on the farms, and they encouraged the marriage of the slaves because they will produce children, they will again become another slave. So in this manner, the white people would not have to buy slave. That means they need not to invest money in buying. There will be no loss of money. They in them only, inside the population only, in the community only, one male slave will marry another female slave. They will give birth to another children, and accordingly when he or she will be grown up, again he or she will become a slave. So automatically there will be no stock of money, there will be no trade, but accordingly there will be a slavery population. Okay, now these people to acquire slave, and they started buying black women, and it was the part of their strategy. On the other hand, we see that intellectual and cultural progress were going on in America. On the other side was being made, or America was developing intellectually and culturally, but on the other hand the slavery system was also increasing in this way. And this was not an effect which coped up with this intellectual and cultural movement, but it was unnecessary. It was necessary to engage people for working in the farm. They could have stopped this slavery system so that other people could work, other people could get employed. If there will be an employment, they will earn money. Again the population will have some to sustain life there. So their life in Africa and their life here did not had much difference. Okay, so somehow they tried to ensure their family life in America, and they did not complain much about their work life because there was nothing new for them. The thing which was going on in Africa, the same thing was getting repeated in America. So there was no much difference, so they never complained. For them it was normal. On the other hand, individualism and industriousness were worshipped cause of the change in thinking pattern. But at the same time, the people they were compelled to work on the farms. I already told in the second part of the video that they were almost starving. They were not given proper wages. Sometimes they were given nothing, not even food. Who actually had total control on their lives used to treat them in an inhuman way. Okay, the slaves were made to work for long hours, no permission to rest, as because more they work, more are their profit. Okay, slave owners never tolerated any kind of tiredness. They were not allowed to say this that I am very tired, I need to sleep. They were only just made to work. Slavery were being punished severely. They were tied in chains so they can't escape, or they can't get the scope to run away. Unfortunately, it became a law to kill the fugitive slaves. What are fugitive slaves? Fugitive slaves that they are no more capable of doing any work, or the women slaves who were no more able to give birth. So it became a law that time that landowners can kill them. Thus it can be concluded that there was a dichotomy. On one side they believed and encouraged individual identity, individual liberty, and the other side they supported the captivity of human beings. This is both of the side of the same coin. Okay, now American women have freedom, but now slavery stopped, slavery was banned. Now the system changed. American women have freedom, liberty, but that time it was not so. There was no joint family system. There was rather nuclear family system existed with husband, wife and children, where husband will lead the family. Land was in his name. Woman did not have any right of the land. Rather she is only expected to look after her children, only to bear and rearing them, nurturing them. She was made to work in the farm, but not to work in others' farm. She is allowed to do sewing and everything, just looking after household chores. So that time the whole scenario was very different, but now woman has already got freedom. Authors and people started writing about their system. Like there is a novel in your rather a story in your module in MEG6, Toni Morrison's Bluest Eye. Okay, so there also some kind of this lifestyle, this reality was shown. So people came up, authors came up to let other people know that what was the actual condition that time and how it has changed today. Thank you. This is the not only the end of the 3 part of the video, it is also the end of one question of 20 marks. I am repeatedly telling you this 3 video is the whole answer of one question only. Thank you.